What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Flagrant Family channel. Today, as you guys know, the All-Star voting just opened up for the NBA. The All-Star starting ballots opened up. So today, we're going to be making our starting five for each conference, and we're also going to go through the reserves. We're going to have 12 players per team and a few snubs at the end. But before we get started, is there anything you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, man, I just want to say I had a really good time on the podcast last episode. For our standards, it's been doing pretty well. We've been seeing you guys in the comment section, so shout out to all of you that are interacting with us, viewing the podcast. Really appreciate you.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, let's just dive right into it. Let's start with the East. It's a bit of a weaker conference. I think it's a little easier than the West. Let's start with who is our first Eastern starting guard. Here are our options.
For me, it's easy. I'm going Tyrese Halliburton with the first guy.
Okay, yeah,
Agree.
100%. The one second. How do I go? One second.
I think you got to vote two of them, and then it takes them there.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, definitely Tyrese Halliburton. The Pacers have been struggling really bad since the in-season break, but yeah, I think he's an easy lock. The second one, I'm gonna throw out Donovan Mitchell.
That's disrespectful, bro. That is mad disrespectful.
It's between him and one other guy. Just depends on like a preference, in my opinion.
I think it's quite simple. I think it's easily Tyrese Maxey.
Sixers fan. I chose Tyrese Maxey as well. I think again, you have to remember the All-Star voting is 50-50 fan voting, and then you have like the media and the coaches, the players. We saw Andrew Wiggins get voted into the starters, like 2 seasons ago. I think Philly's fan base is just way more active than the Cavs. And also Tyrese is a breakout star this year, obviously doing amazing things for the Sixers. So that's why I chose him to start.
All right, well, I'm
Personally, for me
outvoted.
on Max, for me
Whatever.
personally, Maxey was a little bit more of a lock because Donovan missed a lot of time with injury too.
Yeah, it's true. I just always kind of value the guy who's carrying his team. And like you said, with injuries with the Cavs, Mobley and Garland out right now. Donovan's been really the only guy there. But hey, man, I'm outvoted. It looks like it's going to be Maxey and Halliburton. Okay.
Tyrese.
Okay. That's shocking, man. I thought Mitchell was a lock. But anyways, let's go to the front court. I think these are literally just Tatum, Giannis, Joel, right? It's that simple.
Yeah.
Simply.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think we gotta give Kyle Kuzma some respect here, dude.
Dude, why is he up? Why is he up there?
He's the fourth name there. That's the crazy part to me.
Yeah, I just want to say something real quick before we move on to the West. I apologize, Joel Embiid. I was not familiar with your game. I wouldn't consider myself a Joel Embiid hater, but I'm definitely a Joel Embiid doubter, just based on what I've seen from him in the playoffs. Still hasn't made it past the second round, but what he's doing right now is truly amazing. 35 points per game, 6 assists. Still really, really good defensively, having an all-time great season. He heard all the chatter about, he cried to get this MVP, this and that, myself included. He's just shutting everyone up. So shout out to Joel Embiid.
A little bit more context on why Johan's saying that. A couple days ago in our group chat, we were having this discussion on who's the more offensively gifted player, and the debate was Shaq or Joel Embiid. Everyone was calling me an idiot for choosing Joel Embiid until Johan did a bit of research today, and then he agrees with me today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just off this season alone, I don't want to get too into it because we still got the rest of the video to do, but it's definitely a conversation now.
I mean, Shaq's smile is still way better than Embiid, but yeah, let's just move on. Let's go to the West. This is hard for the guards because there's three guys that really deserve it, and one's going to have to get cut here. I think Luka has to be lock.
I did Shea.
Shea and who?
I did Luka, man.
Yeah. I think it's Shea and Luka.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shea and Luka, they're young, up and coming. Their teams have been better. What they've been doing for their teams, I think Steph is obviously still having a good year, Steph Curry, but like for his standards, not the best year. Obviously, the Warriors are vastly underperforming. So I just slotted him to my bench, sadly.
Yeah, Curry's been playing amazingly. Like the stats really aren't different at all from previous seasons. But like you said, the Warriors, man, this is one of the worst seasons, maybe the worst season they had in terms of the dynasty. So I think the young guns deserve it. All right, let's move to the front court. First front court player, I'll just put Jokic in, right? Jokic is a lock.
Easy lock.
LeBron always starts in the All-Star game. He's a lock. Now there's two forwards here that I think are deserving. Did you guys have any other names in mind for the third slot?
I have Anthony Davis as an idea. He's not my lock, or he's not the player I chose, but I think Anthony Davis deserves some recognition here too.
Yeah, he's on my bench personally. I think the last guy is a lock just based on popularity.
Durant?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was teetering between him and Kawhi, but yeah, KD always gets it, so we'll give it to KD. All right, guys.
Honestly, I like this is the exact starting lineup I had.
Same.
Yeah, the only different thing I had Donovan Mitchell, but other than that, yeah. But all right, let's move on to the reserves, guys. They don't have a graphic for it, so we're just gonna do it like this. What conference do you guys want to start in? We'll start at the East.
Weaker conference.
So we're gonna name our locks first. So someone start us off. Who are some locks you guys think should be here?
You already said Donovan Mitchell, so might as well throw him out there.
Yeah, okay. Donovan Mitchell.
I'd say Trae Young has been a lock. I think the Hawks are not playing
having a low-key season.
But he's been great.
Yeah, Trae Young's leading the East in points per game right now, I think, as a guard, or maybe, yeah, as a guard leading the East, points per game. Assists, he's second. I think last year he got snubbed. There's a lot of Trae Young hate that's been going around the NBA for whatever reason. I hope he gets the recognition he deserves this time around.
Okay, so that's two slots. I think Damian Lillard's a lock personally. He's the most clutch player in the league right now, and it is off popularity also, but I think he's deserving of it. Lillard.
Yeah.
My last lock guy is Bam.
That I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. See, I don't know about lock.
For me, it's questionable. I think one guy from the Heat for sure.
I think another lock would be Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, I would say so.
He's on my team, so I'd say that's a lock, I guess.
So wait, we're at 4. We have 4 guards right now.
I don't think there's any line of restrictions for the reserves. I think it's just literally best 7 players.
Okay, so we have 3 more spots in the East, guys. So we have Jimmy Bam in the pool. I would throw in Paolo. I think the Magic might deserve an All-Star. They've been really surprising. They've probably been the most shocking league in the team in the league.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Paolo's just a bit underperforming. I think the Magic are more like team-oriented.
Right.
This name I'm about to throw out is a little interesting. Julius Randle.
No, get the fuck out of here. No, get out of here, man.
They can't have
He's having a monster season, honestly. Usually Julius Randle is like that guy that has one good season, one bad season, one good season. But this year, he's having 2 back-to-back good years.
Truthfully, I have not been paying attention to the Knicks like that. I haven't been paying attention to Julius Randle like that. But just off the name alone, bro. Like, it just sounds gross. Like, get him out of here, man.
What about Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, I had him in there because he's usually lumped in there with Tatum. I think he's not having the best season for his standards. The Celtics are still good, obviously. I think he's a questionable pick, but he's in mine.
I would lock LaMelo Ball, but injuries are kind of a thing. I don't know when he's coming back.
Yeah, he was having a great season before he went out with the injury, obviously. I don't know what the timetable is, but I left him off just because of
we'll leave him out. So far we have Mitchell, Brunson, Trae, and Lillard as locks. We need 3 more, boys.
3 more reserves, or
3 more East reserves, yeah.
I think we got to put the 2 Heat on there, dude. Jimmy and Bam deserve it, man.
Jimmy and Bam.
Or which one of you can you guys all agree on here? You guys said you got like Jimmy more, right?
I got Jimmy, yeah.
Okay, we'll put Jimmy in.
For these last 2 spots. Who did you guys end up going with? Jaylen Brown and who?
I went with Paolo and Bam.
Paolo and Bam.
Wait, can you have 7 reserves or 8?
7.
So what are the ones we have listed right now?
Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Trae Young, Lillard, and Jimmy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had Jaylen Brown on mine.
Okay.
Who's that last guy for who, Johan, we didn't name yet?
Yeah, Jaylen Brown.
You have one more name though. We
No,
didn't name.
that was the one.
Oh, okay. For
Yeah.
me, I had Randall and then Butler. We didn't name yet. Or no, Bam. My bad.
So do we all agree on Bam?
I think I'm outvoted, so I think you'd have to go in. Because we already have Jimmy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, if it's a 2-1, then
That's
Bam.
tough though, because it feels weird not putting Brown in because like the top team usually gets 2 All-Stars. The Celtics have been amazing.
Yeah, that was my main reasoning for putting him in there, and I think he'll pick it up a bit as the season goes on.
But yeah, okay, I guess we'll put Bam in. We have one more spot. It looks like it's between Randall, Paulo, or Brown.
Randall.
I say Paulo.
I said Paolo.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
usually how
based on
it
the
is,
Magic are doing, I'm okay with that too, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like they want to give love to the guys who are usually, especially if it's like young guys on really good teams, got to
Mm-hmm.
show them some love.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. So that is our East team.
Any other snubs we want to bring up? I have a few that we didn't mention.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So the two that I think are deserving of consideration, but probably won't be voted in, are Scotty Barnes and Mikal Bridges.
Yeah. The honestly, yeah, those were 2 tough ones, especially Barnes, because like he's having a monster season, but the Raptors have just been so lackluster.
Yeah. I think the problem with Mikal is he had these giant, again, like Anthony Edwards, really big expectations off FIBA, and also the way he ended last season after he got traded to the Nets. I think he was averaging like 25 plus points per game, just really carrying that team. Just he's more of a team first kind of guy. His counting stats don't pop off as much as you want. So
Yeah,
That's
100%.
interesting.
Do you have
What
any
about
more
you, Eddie?
snubs,
Any good
Mo?
stubs? For me, I was thinking about some Bulls here, but I don't know, man. For me, it was like between Levine. I'm sorry, not Levine, DeMar, and then Vooch, maybe.
Yeah, because they've been on it, like I said, guys. This is early predictions because obviously it's not the game's not till February, so these are just predictions. A lot of things can change at the time. We're just going based off what's going on now. But yeah, the Bulls have been on fire lately. Maybe they'll get one, but I doubt it.
Kobe White, early name.
Yeah, MIP, MIP.
am I definitely in that conversation?
I could see him getting some votes for sure, based on like the recency bias. If he continues to like go on this hot streak.
Mo, why don't you give us another lock?
For me, I had Anthony Davis as an easy lock.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
He's having a season where he's not injury prone. Fingers crossed. I mean, he's been looking really good. Lakers won the in-season tournament. I know that doesn't mean much, but he's been playing really, really well. He hasn't been hurt. If he's missed a game, it's been like 1 or 2 games at a time, which I'm completely okay with for Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Johan, why don't you give us a lock?
Shout out to the ATL, man. Just unintentionally got a girl pregnant. My boy AE Anthony Edwards.
100%.
He is the best player on the best team in the West right now. Hopefully he doesn't let that off court stuff distract him too much. But you know, this guy's a bona fide star. Really looking forward to what he can do in the next few years.
Yeah, I love the growth of that team, man. Including me. Obviously, we all shit on the Gobert trade, but I love how no one is talking about that now. It's just kind of funny how like quickly things change. All right, I'll give it a lock. I think Kawhi Leonard's gonna make it, especially the way the Clippers have been playing. He's been on a tear. The Clippers are they had like the longest winning streak. I don't know if they won today, but I'm definitely putting the claw in there.
They did not win today.
Yeah, I figured they would lose to the Thunder at home.
You want to know
but
why they lost today, Ed?
Hmm.
Today was the first game Kawhi Leonard has missed this entire season.
Ah,
That is a crazy fact for Kawhi Leonard. This is your first like out game for the entire season. Another great, great year for health so far for Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard, and I love it.
Yes, sir. All right, that is Curry, AD, Ant, and Kawhi Leonard. Circle back to you, Mo. Who else do you think is a lock?
I'm torn between 3 guys. I think all these guys are locks for me, but the next guy I want to talk about is Paul George, another Clipper here.
Ooh. He is not on my list, believe it or not.
Whoa.
yeah. For me, he's a snub. I definitely wouldn't consider him a lock just because since they've gone on this winning streak, I feel like he's kind of taken a back seat to Kawhi and James. He was carrying them hard to start the season, but I think he's cooled down a little bit, and that's nothing wrong with that. I think it's been better for the team, but I think sadly he'll get snubbed.
Ooh.
I think Booker's a lock.
Yeah. You don't think
He
so?
did not make my list.
What?
Wow.
That's crazy. No way.
And it was just due to injury for me.
Okay.
The Suns have been so injured. Besides Kevin Durant, dude, Bradley Beal's played like 2 games this season. Booker's played like a handful as well. He just missed so much time already.
Okay. Johan, why don't you give us a name?
I have guys that make a lot more sense right now, but you already know what I'm gonna say. He might not be a lock, but he's a damn lock. Victor Wembanyama, get him in the All-Star game now.
No.
Get him in the game now. Him and Chet Holmgren. Okay, sadly, I think only one of them will make it, but just purely because of the popularity factor, I think Victor Wembanyama will make it. Realistically, I don't think he's a lock, but the 7'4" Frenchman, you know, the baguettes, the churros coming together, they're going to get him in the All-Star game, and I think he's deserving of it.
That's great. I don't have either of them on the team, to be honest.
Really?
Neither do I.
Wow. Okay, well, hold on. Now that I got that out of the way, let me give you a more realistic pick. I got De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, 100% Fox.
I like it. I have De'Aaron Fox on my list too.
Yeah, that's a lock.
So we have. Go ahead.
I would say it's kind of slept on right now. The Kings are the 5 seed, but De'Aaron Fox is averaging a quiet 30 a game. Been my best fantasy player. Shout out to him. Got him in the 2nd or 3rd round. Really flew under the radar.
Yeah, and they're one of the most exciting teams to watch in general.
Yeah, I almost got destroyed in that trade. Thankfully, you guys talked me out of that. I almost cost the entire league there. So.
All right, guys. So we have Curry, AD, and Kawhi, Booker, Fox. We have one more spot. We'll each go around. I think Karl-Anthony Towns deserves the last spot.
That's who I gave it to.
They're the best team. Oh, go ahead.
Could you give the list again of who's locked?
Curry, Davis, Edwards, Kawhi, Booker, and Fox. So we have room for one more.
Okay. Yeah, it's Victor Wembanyama. No questions asked.
If the Spurs won like a couple more games, I could see it, but they're just
a couple more, like 40 more games.
Hey man, it's an all-star. It's not an MVP or anything. But no, I get it. If you guys both think who was it, Cat? He's an honorable mention for me. Again, best team in the West. Usually you get 2 guys from the best team. Throw him in there, but we all know who should be in there.
Vic. All right, let's talk about the snubs then. We got Vic and Chet as snubs, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the most exciting rookie of the year races between these 2 guys. I already gave my opinion on them last episode. I think assuming they stay healthy, they continue to play the way they are capable of, this is going to be one of the best rivalries in the NBA for years to come. I'm super excited for what these guys can do.
100%. I think another snub we could put in there, Sabonis. Just his stats are always going to be like he's a double-double monster. The Kings are pretty much a lock to make the playoffs, but I think he's just kind of outgunned this year.
Yeah.
Mo, you got any
snubs? The next guy up is Alfred Sengun, bro. He's been a goon, bro. He's been a motherfucking goon, bro.
And the Rockets have been kind of decent, so it's not
They've been really good. I had them in like the lottery again, dude. They're a playoff team. Honestly, they're a playoff team.
Maybe.
Playoff
also, it pains me to say, but like Zion or Ingram
didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't. They're snubs, but like, yeah, I don't think they have room for them unless they kind of pick it up a little more.
Yeah, I was thinking of Ingram, Zion, Popeyes. Got too much Popeyes on his mind right now. Needs to focus up.
I wonder if you guys had this guy on your list. Did you guys have Desmond Bane on your snubs?
No.
He didn't make my 3, but as I was making the list, I was like, yeah, he's he's in that realm.
I think he deserves to be there.
Okay. I can see that. He's definitely having his best season.
I know, Johan, you mentioned this about the rivalry between Chet and Victor Wembanyama. I do want to question this to you guys, though. So how long do you think it's going to take where they join that elite center conversation? Because I think right now the 2 best players in the league are either Embiid or Jokic. Those are like the 2 front runners, and they're both big men. how long does it take until Victor Wembanyama or maybe Chet or both possibly get into that conversation where they're all battling for that number one spot?
That's a great question.
So you're assuming like by the time that happens, Jokic and Embiid will still be really good.
Still in their primes.
I personally don't see either of them really surpassing those two. If Embiid and Jokic keep playing the way they are, I think that's just a really high standard to meet. What do you think, Johan? How fast do you think Vic's going to evolve?
I'm maybe not the right guy to ask about this in particular, but I'm extremely high on Vic, especially from like a developmental standpoint. Again, the injuries are a huge concern, but this guy has like a personal trainer that works with him on flexibility and just durability overall. We saw that one game he rolled his ankle that would have had AD out for like 5 games. Now this dude just hopped back up, kept on running. So, to answer the question, I think Jokic and Embiid right now are kind of nearing or at their absolute apex. I think when we get to like 4 to 5 seasons away from now, that's when they'll noticeably slow down to the point where Victor and Chet, I think, can enter that conversation because they'll be in their mid-20s and, that'll be peak physical shape for them, I think.
Okay. I think a better question is how long do you think Vic or Chet until one of them breaks the top 10 in the NBA?
Ooh.
Because remember, we're not just talking top 10 talent. To be in top 10, you gotta win. You have to win games also. That's just kind of part of it. So when do you guys think that'll happen for them? Either or, crack the top 10. How long do you think it'll take?
If I'm being honest, I think Chet is a bit more likely just because he's already on a winning team. It's just a matter of him improving. I think Vic might improve better individually, but the Spurs as an organization, I don't think we'll get much better than how the Thunder have been the next couple of years. I think I could see like maybe 3-4 years for Vic to jump in that top 10. I could see even like 2 years for Chet, to be honest. The way he's been so far, I could see 2 years for Chet.
Okay.
That's fair to say. Me personally, I'm actually on the opposite side of the coin. Obviously the Spurs are really terrible right now, but I have a ton of faith in that organization and what they can do and this next year's draft really surround Victor with the talent that he needs to turn them into a winning team. I think Victor right now is the number one guy. I think that gives him an advantage in development because he's taking on more load. He's got all the pressure on him to perform. I think his stats by result will obviously be better. He's getting more touches. He's going to anchor the defense. I think Chet will probably be the number 2 to Shea for the foreseeable future. I don't know if he can be better than Shea. It's a really big what if, but Shea, I still don't think has hit his peak yet, and he's already, I think, easily top 10 player. So,
yeah, I think the only in recent years, the only number 2 guy that we've seen in the top 10 is Anthony Davis. And I'm not saying Chet can't reach his level, but offensively, I think Anthony Davis is just kind of going to be on another level. I don't know if Chet's ever going to be able to reach that. So yeah, it's kind of hard putting a number 2 in the top 10, but I get what you're saying. He is on a much better team and franchise.
Yeah, to kind of bounce off the Anthony Davis point, some people forget that AD before he joined the Lakers was like top 3 in the NBA talks at some points. Usually top 5, but like, monster in New Orleans.
I'm going to go back to an all-star question here. So based off these teams we got, who do you guys have as the winner of the game? And give me a prediction of your score.
Okay, let's assume first of all that they're both trying. Not some like, oh my God, don't even get me started with like how shit the All-Star game has been recently. Like no one tries. Let's assume both these guys are trying their hardest. Well, let's just start
West.
With
176.
It's an All-Star game.
It's the All-Star game, exactly. They're going to be chucking up hella threes. That's how the scores generally look, to be honest. 176 to 166 for the East. So I think the West is going to win by 10 points.
I would pick the West as well. They just seem to be more stacked.
Yeah, I would have the West winning by around 10 to 15, pretty much spot on with what you said. But now on top of that, who do you guys think is going to win the All-Star game MVP?
Oh, man.
It's a good question. Let's see.
For me, I think it will be Shea.
I was going to say SGA.
It's a good pick. Yeah, I would personally have Shea or Luca. They're the type of guys I feel like that'll really
Hmm.
pop off in an all-star game. And it's did Shea start? Did they start last year? I feel like one of them didn't.
Shea did not.
Probably Luca.
Okay. Yeah, whoever, these guys both now are starting. They're gonna be excited. They're prime time, flashy players, really made for the all-star game. Jokic, best player in the league, but like this dude's not gonna do anything in the all-star game. You don't care like that. So
I could see Joel Embiid just trying his ass off in the All-Star game too, to be honest.
I feel like centers don't really try that much in the All-Star game.
I could see Embiid just taking the ball every single time, doing that little hesitation pull-up mid-range that he always does every single time down.
you know what's a bold prediction I have? I feel like Embiid might break the single game all-star scoring record. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
I think he's very, very likely to do it too. Because what is it right now? Like 52?
Who
It's in
has
the
it?
50s,
Curry
yeah.
Anthony Davis, I think.
or Tatum? Tatum. Is it Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum just
Yeah,
broke
Tatum
it.
broke it last year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's 52 now, right? Or 53?
somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, Embiid already has 250 pieces this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 50 something in the All-Star game when no one's trying for the first half. I mean, possible.
Before we wrap this up, let's talk about the issue with the All-Star game. No one tries. It's boring. No one plays defense. There's never any intensity to it. I feel like the league has tried to make solutions, like the whole individual quarter scoring thing. What do you guys think a good solution would be, or is there one at all?
Honestly, this game is a little bit more about fun and kind of enjoying times with like your friends on other teams, getting to hang out and chill. It's a little bit of a vacation because those guys that are not in the All-Star game, this is the time for them to relax. I've seen people go to Cancun during All-Star break, but for these guys, they have to like go to these events like dunk contest, 3-point contest, NBA like All-Star game. So it's an accomplishment, but also at the same time, it's kind of like work, so they don't take it as seriously. Maybe if there was an incentive, I don't know what that incentive would be, but an incentive would get something, I think.
Yeah, I agree. To kind of go off Mo's point, it's also tough because the last thing you want to do is get injured in an all-star game. And I feel like if you're going balls to the wall with all these caliber of players playing at once, someone's probably going to get injured if they're all going hard the whole game. But I think the best way to do it, I know they did like financial stuff for like charity. I mean, we saw how excited all the NBA players got for the like 500K bonus for the in-season tournament. It doesn't have to be as high as like that, but maybe like 100K, 250K, some sort of monetary incentive for these guys, I think would push them.
I'm thinking, would this be an interesting idea to you guys? So obviously, usually the winner of the MVP goes to the winner of the game. So what if the winner of the MVP, that's where the next All-Star team takes place? So suppose if Jason Tatum won again, the next All-Star game will take place in Boston.
It's a cool idea, but it's just not realistic at all. I feel like the where they hold it is like really pre-planned, like with that city. But that is a cool idea. I just don't think it's realistic.
Yeah, logistically, I'm pretty sure these are planned years in advance.
And I feel like that'd be kind of annoying if sometimes it's like the same guy winning over and over. Can you imagine if it's like Wembanyama for the next 10 years? Every single year it's in San Antonio.
That'd be hilarious. Hey, I've been to San Antonio. I'm sorry, Wemby, bro. There's nothing to do there. Charles Barkley's already said it. I'm not gonna get into all that, but it's not a river walk, it's a creek. That's all I'll say.
Damn. I thought it was cooler. But but anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
Vote Victor Wembanyama, 2024 All-Star starter.
No, there it is.
Vote Tyrese Maxey, All-Star MVP.
All right. Vote Kobe White in there. I don't know. No, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for the support on the last video. Make sure to leave a lot of comments. We love the interactions that you guys bring. Make sure to check out the TikTok. We're gonna have some shorts coming. Thanks for watching.
Peace.